Dexter Morgan, a forensic blood spatter analyst by day, a serial killer by night. The first time you hear that, it sounds like fiction. A man who uses science to solve crimes while secretly committing them. But for Dexter, it's not fiction. It's survival. And when you really look at who Dexter Morgan is, where he came from, and what he has to do every single day just to appear normal, the truth becomes clear. It absolutely sucks to be Dexter Morgan. From the moment he was born, Dexter's life was written in blood. He was barely a toddler when he was found sitting in a pool of his mother's remains. She had been brutally dismembered with a chainsaw in front of him. That moment carved something into Dexter's brain. It didn't just traumatize him, it rewired him. It erased normal development, and in its place, it left emptiness. A hunger, a darkness. That darkness didn't go away. As Dexter grew older, he didn't feel what others felt. No love, no guilt, no connection. Just a compulsion, a need to kill. And that's where Harry Morgan comes in, the cop who adopted him. Harry saw what Dexter was becoming and tried to channel that darkness into something useful. He gave Dexter rules, a code. Only kill people who deserve it. Only kill those who have escaped justice. And Dexter, a child trying to make sense of his broken mind, clung to that code like a life raft. But that didn't fix him. It just gave him structure. It gave him an excuse, an illusion of control. Dexter doesn't live a life. He performs one. Every smile, every laugh, every hug is an act, a calculated mimicry of what he thinks a human should be. He doesn't feel connected to the people around him. He studies them, imitates them. He calls them his mask, but imagine wearing a mask every waking moment, never letting it slip, always pretending to be something you're not. That isn't freedom. That's a prison, and that prison doesn't come with bars. It comes with birthdays, dinner parties, first dates, anniversaries, all things that are supposed to be joyful. But for Dexter, they're rehearsals, scripted performances for an audience that must never know the truth. He marries Rita, has kids, builds a home, but even then, there's no peace, there's no rest. He's terrified they'll find out. That one wrong move, one missed cue, and the entire illusion will come crashing down. And the irony? He genuinely wants to be what they think he is. A good man, a loving husband, a protective father, but the monster in him doesn't go away. It never sleeps, and every time he tries to connect, that monster reminds him, it's all fake. And the deeper he tries to bury it, the more violently it claws its way back to the surface. He kills to satisfy the urge, yes, but also to keep it hidden, to avoid snapping at the wrong time. He thinks of it as a service, as keeping the world cleaner. But deep down, Dexter knows it's not justice. It's survival. It's the only way he knows how to function. And over time, that lie eats away at him. Because even when he does the right thing, it's for the wrong reasons. Every kill leaves a stain, not just on his gloves, but on his soul, if he even has one left. People die because of him. Innocent people. Deborah, his sister, the one person who truly loved him, she's destroyed by the truth. First emotionally, then physically. His lies, his secrets, his code, they break her. She was his compass, his anchor to the world, and he dragged her down into the abyss with him. When she dies, it isn't just a loss, it's a mirror, a reflection of the damage Dexter leaves behind. A reminder that even those closest to him are not safe. That love doesn't save people from him. It puts them in the crossfire. And then there's Harrison, his son, the one person Dexter wants to protect from the darkness. But how do you protect a child from a world when you are the monster in it? How do you teach them right from wrong when your entire life has been a lie built on blood? Dexter wants to give Harrison a better life, but all he can give him is trauma. And when Harrison finds out who his father really is, he doesn't see a hero. He sees a threat, A ticking time bomb in the shape of a father. And deep down, Dexter knows Harrison is right. Dexter tries to escape, tries to fake his death, starts over. But the darkness follows him. It always does. Because no matter where he goes, he takes himself with him. And in the end, he has to face the one truth he can't kill his way out of, that he never really got to choose this life. It was chosen for him. The blood, the code, the mask. It's all just survival, not peace, not purpose. Just a constant balancing act between the person he pretends to be and the thing he really is. He moves to Iron Lake under a fake identity, Jim Lindsay, trying to live a quiet life. But you can't cage a beast by giving it a new name. The darkness doesn't care about aliases. It doesn't fade with time. It waits. It festers. And eventually, it claws its way back to the surface. Because for Dexter, it's not about temptation. It's about inevitability. He makes friends, dates a cop, reconnects with Harrison, and for a brief moment he believes maybe, just maybe, he can control it. Maybe he can find balance. But that hope dies the moment someone threatens the illusion. One slip-up, one act of violence, one fresh kill, and it all unravels. Because that's the truth. Dexter doesn't really stop. He pauses. He waits. But the cycle always restarts. And with every restart, the people he loves get pulled closer to the edge. The more he tries to protect Harrison, the more he poisons him. The closer they become, the more dangerous it is. Because Dexter isn't just passing down a legacy, he's handing over a curse, a childhood built on lies, a father who disappears into the night, a life haunted by blood. And Harrison, still trying to find himself, now has to navigate the world knowing part of him comes from the very darkness Dexter could never escape. In the end, Harrison sees what the world saw too late, that Dexter Morgan can never be normal. That the very thing that makes him useful, the darkness, is the same thing that makes him unfit to live in peace. So Harrison does what Dexter never could. He stops the cycle. With one shot, he ends the masquerade. And Dexter dies in the snow. Not as a martyr, not as a monster, but as a man who ran out of lies. And that's why it sucks to be Dexter Morgan. Because he was never free, because he never really lived, because every good thing in his life was just bait on a hook, one tug away from being ripped out of reach. He didn't choose the darkness, but he couldn't outrun it either. And in the end, he became its final victim. He was born into trauma, raised by a code, defined by a lie, and ended as a cautionary tale, not of evil, but of pain. Of what happens when a boy becomes a man without ever learning how to feel, how to connect, how to be human. And when he finally tried, it was already too late.